This is an old South African 5 shilling coin. It's made from about 70% silver and the rest is copper, nickel and tin and other elements. This is a piece of coal. It's used in coal burners, it's known as anthracite, and together I'm gonna take these two things and make a watch from it. Before I can do that though, I gotta turn the silver from this coin into pure elemental silver. Here I've got some nitric acid. I'm going to add in my silver coins and I'm going to dissolve this to get a solution of silver nitrate that's filled with impurities. It's filled with copper nitrate, it's filled with physical impurities that you can see at the bottom of the container. And I'm going to then precipitate out the silver into pure elemental silver. Here you can see me filtering out any solid impurities from the silver nitrate. And here I'm going to add some copper and I'm going to precipitate out the silver from the solution. Silver on its own is quite a soft metal, and to have a watch made from pure silver wouldn't last very long. It would tarnish and it would scratch very easily, but it's also difficult to create threads, for example, which make making a case from it quite difficult. Because of this, I'm gonna make my own alloy of silver. I'm gonna add a certain amount of silver coupled with other elements, as you can see here, to create an alloy that's a lot more durable, a lot more tarnish resistant and a lot more suitable for a watch case. Here you can see me smelting out those elements. I'm going to turn this into a liquid, mix it up thoroughly, and then I'm going to let it cool down inside the casting container, just because I want to try something different with this. I don't want to cast this into the final shape. I want to cut and machine this by hand just to see what it feels like out of curiosity and to see if it's a viable material to be used by hand. Don't worry about any of the chips or any of the dust. That's all going to be reused. I'm going to add it to a container and I'm going to smelt it out, and it will be added back and recycled into the pure, well, not pure silver. It's going to be now my alloy of silver. Here I've cut out a rough shape just to give me an idea of where to actually lay out the watch shape, and here I have my actual layout and I'm transferring it onto the piece. I've cut out the lugs, I've cut out the top and the width of the shape, and now it's a matter of cutting out the sides and refining the shape a whole bunch. This takes quite a bit of time because obviously I'm doing this by hand. In future I'm not going to do this by hand. I'm going to cast this directly into the final shape. Here you can see me filing out the lugs to get them square. It's quite difficult to file while filming. And here's the final profile shape. It's time to work on the side profile of the shape and get it rounded off around the lugs. I'm doing this using the bench grinder and doing it by hand as well, and then I'm gonna top it off and get a good finish and a good curve with the belt grinder. This is the first time I'm using a precious metal for a watch. It's a learning experience. It's quite difficult, it has its challenges, but I think the alloy that I'm making is going to be well suited for this. Of course, there's trial and error, and a lot of the things you're seeing me do here is not how I would necessarily do it in a final piece for a customer or for myself. But this is going to be all for part 1 of the video. I will be back with part 2, where we'll look at the bezel, look at the movement, and start turning this into an actual watch. Don't forget to like and subscribe,